Why theories? Some of you might have thought, why learning theory? Or why theories generally? In the next few minutes I will give my view on this issue. Let's have some examples. What I am trying to say here is that anyone who is ignorant of a game or ignorant generally perceives in an ignorant/restricted way. The key word here is perception. As soon as we have some knowledge of a sports game or anything else, we perceive in different way. As soon as we know that the players in the football team have different tasks to solve, as soon as we know the rules of games, generally we become quite different perceivers. And if we turn our attention to the players in the field, they know the rules and they will definitely perceive the game differently after they have heard the coach's strategic plans for the match. But let us leave the sports games and turn our attention to traditional cognitive domains. Of course, sports are cognitive domains too. I have tried to show that conceptual knowledge is not something you just know or have. Instead, conceptual knowledge changes your perception. I have sometimes used the metaphor of a torch with which you light up certain areas while letting others remain in darkness. It is not a bad metaphor, cause when you have a certain theoretical perspective you perceive the world in a certain way, whereas individuals with other theoretical perspectives perceive in a different way. I guess national economy, not to mention politics, could be illustrating examples here. When we turn our attention to learning, we all know that there are theories trying to explain how learning occurs and the mechanisms involved. Being a novice in a field, I think it is quite common to view theory as a prescription for how to do. Learning theories are not to-do lists. Let us see if I can explain this. Take language and writing as an example. I think we all have been taught or in some other way have been told that grammar knowledge is necessary to write properly and maybe even to speak. However, communication is fundamentally human, and such communication certainly does not need a formalized grammar to work. But how about writing? Well, text is a very sophisticated technology to turn sounds into signs on some medium, for example paper, or more common today, computer documents. Does all that mean that without grammar you can neither talk nor write properly or comprehensible? Of course not. I cannot know for certain, but I don't think that the majority of authors put grammar first when producing interesting books. In the worst of cases you produce faultless nonsense with your grammar knowledge. Let me give an example. When I was in secondary schools, I was very good at grammar, particularly when we studied German. I knew all the paradigms, rules and word endings. I could analyze sentences. Might this be equivalent to teaching, meaning that you need to know about learning theory to be able to teach? Of course not. To teach someone something is also a fundamental undertaking that people have done since time began. Anyone knowledgeable might tell and show the yet ignorant, just as even my mother might have kicked a football, hopefully into the right goal. So why do we need learning theories, then, if anyone can teach the ignorant? On the one hand, teaching is a matter of training and practice. The one who teaches every day acquires some competence even without learning theories. The one who observes the doctor for some time might also appear as a doctor, dressed like a doctor and saying the right words, maybe the nice comforting words to the anxious patient. Of course, this is a fictitious example, but still it has occurred among doctors and even pilots in large airliners. Consequently, we can also appear as teachers and even be appreciated as good teachers. Sometimes we say, when you have conceptual knowledge, like the real doctor, the real pilot, the real teacher, you are different because you perceive differently. Therefore, learning theories, biomedicine, aviation are not prescriptions on how to in the first place, as I was taught to view the German grammar, even if they could give the practitioner some guidance. Student teachers often say, when they practice during their training, that they want to apply the theories they have studied. I don't think it works that way. On the contrary, I think that theories viewed that way could even harm or damage the enthusiasm of teaching, like the grammar did for my ability to speak German. Actually, I think that grammar generally has made lots of people afraid of writing, fearing that they will make mistakes they don't understand they do. So why do we need learning theories, if anyone can teach the ignorant? As I said earlier, there can be many excellent teachers without theoretical knowledge of learning theories. What is important, though, is that like the fake doctor and the fake pilot, the fake instructor is restricted to what he has picked up from others and then tried. If it worked out well, it might be taken as an indication of how it is and not how it happened to be a successful move. Having access to the practitioner's conceptual tools, we can vary our activities according to the needs. This might also be a skill we acquire as a result of experience, but conceptual knowledge will also constitute the foundation for decisions not directly linked to a particular situation. The individual with conceptual knowledge actually has a much better ability to perceive more general aspects of a situation.